Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to cover a few concepts around HTML links and the different ways you can specify the HTML links and how to create them, how to use them, and how to navigate around it. So let's get straight into it. Now the very first thing is how to create a link in HTML. It's created using an anchor tag. It's also called as a tag, and the very first attribute that is important here is the href attribute. It's used to specify what is the link that you want to visit. So in this case, let's just keep it simple and say https google.com, and let's just call it Google and save it. So if I click on it, it's going to go to google.com. So that's a very simple way of defining a link in HTML. Now to make it more interesting, let's just see what are the other attributes for this a tag. The second one is called as title. This is used to give more information about your link. Now for example, I will just say visit Google. The importance of this is it's going to show up as a tooltip when we hover over our link. So if we save this and run, if I hover over Google, it's going to give me an extra information about this link here. So here it's going to say visit Google. That was what was specified in this title of our link. The next one is called as the target attribute. The first value for the target that we can specify is called a self. This is also the default value for the link. So if you do not specify anything, it's going to take this default as self and it's going to just open the link in the same window. So if we save this and run, so it's going to open up the link in the same window as your HTML page. Now the next one is called as, actually let me just copy this and maybe tweak this so that it'll look a little better. Let's call this blank. So what blank does is it actually opens up the link in a different window or a different tab. So Google on different tab. Save it, run it, click it, it'll open it in a different tab. So that's convenient, and whenever you want to open a link in a different tab, that's how you use it. Just specify this blank value to the attribute and you will open up it in a different tab. So now the next couple of values for this target attribute, in order to understand those, you need to first understand what an iframe is. So an iframe tag in HTML is used to display a web page within a web page. So the way you define it is just by specifying the iframe tag, and in here you need to specify the source, which is going to be the HTML page that you want to open in this frame. So let's just say, actually let's just create another page in the source folder, so new file, and call it parent.html. So again, the basics, HTML, head, title, and call it parent frame, and let's just keep the body empty for now. Save it and call it here. Save it and run it. So that's how the parent frame is going to look. Let's just add a h1 here. and call it parent frame. So that's how the parent frame looks. Now you can also specify some height and width to this. So let's make this 800 by 800. So that's looking much better. Now let's just create another frame inside this parent frame. So for that, let's create another file called as child.html, and let's just copy everything from here and here, replace this with child. And in my parent frame, I will call an iframe and give it a source of child. HTML. And also let's give some height, for example 500, and width 500. Save. So that's how it looks. So this child frame is inside the parent frame. Now let's get back to the rest of the values for the target attribute. So let's create a few links in the child frame itself. But before that, let me create another HTML page in here, and let me call that image.html, and pick everything from here. Call it an image. Here I'm going to give an image and give it a source as this link, and give some height and width. It doesn't really matter if you give the quotes or not. So save. So now let's call that image in my child frame as a link. So I'll just specify a href equal to image.html, and let's just call it an image self. Give a target as self in here again. Save. So if I click this, I will see the image in my child frame. Now let's see how the other values work. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it, use blank, save and refresh. So image blank should now open up this in a separate tab. So there you go, you open it in a separate tab. Now if I paste this again, this time I'm going to make it as parent. So what parent value does is it's going to open up the link in my parent frame. So this link is now going to open up like this. So see, it opened up in my parent frame. That's essentially the use of this parent value for the target attribute. Now the next one is top. Top is going to again open up the image. Oh, actually, this guy. Top is going to open up the link in the full body of the window. So if I click this, then it is going to cover the entire body of my window. So those are essentially all the values of the target attribute and the way you could use them if you want to open up the links within the frames like this. Now the next thing is what is an absolute URL and a relative URL. Absolute URL is nothing but the entire path to an image. Like for example, we specified here. This is an absolute URL. But a relative URL is something that is going to specify just the relative path to a specific page. Like for example, we did here. This is a relative path. We are not specifying the entire path to this child.html page. That's about the relative URL. Now next, let's see using an image as a link. Let's just do that in the child page itself. Let me remove all of this. So the way we use an image as a link is obviously first we will have to specify an A, and then in href we have to specify what the link is going to be. So in this case, let's just make it as image.html again, and inside the A tag we have to specify the image tag, and we'll have to give this some source. So let's give this a source as this one, specify the height and the width. And that's it. Save it, run it. Now this is going to be a link. If I click on this link, it will take me to image.html. So see, that's how you use image as a link for your HTML pages. Now let's see how we can modify the colors of these links that appear on the page. So let me go back to my index.html and take this out from here first. Clean up a little. Okay, so by default, if I create a new link here, so if I create a new link, it shows up in a blue color and is underlined. Any link which is already visited, like in this case Google and the second link here, they are going to be purple in color. And any link that is active, like for example if I click here on parent, it becomes red, which means it's an active link and is being pressed. So those are the default colors that are there for all the links. Now if you want to change the colors of these links, we can do that through the index.css file that we have already created. So let's just go ahead and change a few colors. So the way you do it is you specify A for the A tag and give a link in here and specify color as green. And let's see if any link is visited. Then let's make the color of that as brown, and when I hover, let's make the color of that as blue. Actually, let's make it blue violet. And if I want to change the color of an active link, then let's make it yellow. So let's just save this and refresh. So in this case, all the links were visited, but that's why they are all brown. If I hover, they turn violet. And if I click, then it's an active link, it looks yellow. Now the only thing that we need to test was unvisited link. So let's just do that here. Create a new link, maybe child.html, call it child, save, fresh, and there you go. You see the unvisited link now shows up as a green color. You visit it and it becomes brown. So that's it about the HTML links. I hope you like this video. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and see you in the next one. Thank you.